Okay, so I have no clue as to why this weird person keeps tagging me in videos. But I will say this. The problem with a lot of y'all is that y'all regurgitate things that y'all heard other people say instead of actually doing the research. Okay, so let's just take a minute and talk about this fictional book, They Came Before Columbus. Because the thing about it, there has been many fallacies found within this work. So after the publication of this fictional works, the author actually went back and altered his original thesis. After certain archaeological studies, his theses began to change. Understand that if you do not do the research yourself, then you will be following someone else's theories and ideologies. This is someone else's belief. It is not truth. When we say do the research, you have to actually do the research. This book was written in 1976. So here we have a man indoctrinated by the school education system. We already know that the entire education system is ran by people that are against us. I made a video about Charles Darwin and his theories on evolution and his out of Africa theory not too long ago. Go check it out. So Darwinism is pseudoscience, and that is the indoctrination that was taught in the school education system. I believe that the Darwinism theory was created in like 1858, like the mid to late 1800s. So why on earth would you follow someone else and their racist ideologies? Now, I don't blame Ivan because he was indoctrinated, that's, the information that he was taught, and that's very well why his thesis began to change when he started to actually do the research, when he actually started to do the groundwork. And that's exactly why we need to be the ones doing this research. We need to be the ones going to these pyramids and going to these burial tombs, because these are our ancestors. We don't need nobody else to tell us about our culture or who we are. Because the fact of the matter is, we populate and have always populated every single landmass on this planet. 9 ether neuromelanated beings are the original beings of this planet before any genetic mutations and any other races came into being. We were already here. We have been here. So go back and forth, debate all you want, you feel me? We are one people of many nations. We have existed for millions of years, even when the earth was one. And there is a great amount of evidence to support this. Our ancestors have always been on this land. We have always been here. We did not come from Africa during the transatlantic slave trade. There are all these different artifacts, and in particular these stone artifacts that depict our ancestors with so-called dinosaurs or dragons. And there's also petrified remains and different things like that proves that they existed. So you see, for example, our Aboriginal family in Australia, our Aboriginal family in the Philippines, they have always been on that land. They didn't necessarily come from Africa, because Africa is not the birthplace of civilization. Again, here y'all go following the Charles Darwin theory when there is substantial evidence that proves otherwise. Okay, so go and read some of this literature and some of these newspaper articles from back in the 1800s when they were doing all of these expeditions. And then they started to come to the conclusions that Africa, in fact, is not the birthplace of civilization. So they've already knew this. They've been knew this. But they wanted to push the propaganda and indoctrination. And we all know why. Okay, and before I wrap this video up, I also wanted to speak on Roots, which is also fictional. Roots is a work of the imagination rather than strict historical scholarship. I know y'all see that familiar name up there. Dr. Henry Louis Gates, who's also pushing the out of Africa theory, it says here that he even doubted his friend's whole experience. So you see, it's really sad that y'all make it y'all life to try to debunk us when we've actually done the work. We've actually traced our genealogy and our family lineage. We're out here doing the groundwork. We're out here fighting for our ancestors. It doesn't matter if you believe it, if you want to accept it or not. But one thing that you will not take away from us is the fact that we are Aborigines of this land that we call America. We are the original people of this land. We are the true Niji, primordial, autochthonous descendants of the original 9 ether neuromelanated gods.